This is Joe's Corner 76. I will be commenting on issues that affect the human condition. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Joe's Corner 76. You can hear me on Breaker, Spotify, Google Podcast, Anchor FM, and Radio Public, and YouTube at Joe's Corner 76. I would love to hear from you. To change the human condition, we need to be engaged. Homelessness, a national disgrace. In a country as rich as we are, and with the number of homeless people we have, it's a national disgrace. Various levels of government come up with periodic plans that are supposed to solve the problem, yet we still have a record number of homeless people. There doesn't seem to be the political will to make this a national problem for all Canadians to help with and resolve. Our government is giving foreign aid to countries like Iran, Saudi Arabia, and China. These are countries that repress their people. Foreign aid is going to countries like Italy, Brazil, and Argentina. They don't need it. Let's use this money to make sure every Canadian has a home. Are we our brother's keeper? In a caring society, I believe we have a moral obligation to see that our fellow Canadians have a place to live. Do we know the extent of homelessness in Canada? In the State of Homelessness in Canada 2016 report, it was estimated that at least 235,000 Canadians experience homelessness in a given year. This number could be much higher, since many people who are unhoused live with friends and relatives. Data from Ipsos Reid poll in March 2013 suggests that as many as 1.3 million Canadians have experienced homelessness or extremely insecure housing at some point during the last 5 years. Canadians who experience homelessness on any given night is estimated at 35,000. This is only an estimate. There may be as many as 50,000 hidden homeless who are couch surfing each night. Based on the data comparing homelessness in Canadian cities, it is estimated that for every 100 people in shelters, there are 20 people unsheltered. The vast majority of homeless have a rather short experience. There are people who are long-term or chronically homeless in Canada. In Canada, the average stay in an emergency shelter is 50 days, though for most it is only 29. For these people, homelessness is a one-time event. There are people who are episodically homeless, who move in and out of homelessness. These are long-term. These people use more than half of emergency shelters. Those experiencing chronic homelessness, 4,000 to 8,000. Those experience episodic homelessness, 6,000 to 22,000. Those who are transitionally homeless, 176 to 188,000. 1 in 5 rental households in Canada spends over 50% of their income on rent. Families with children are the fastest growing homeless demographic. Canada is experiencing a huge increase in youth homelessness. Many of these youth are fleeing from dangerous, definite situations. What exactly is the definition of homelessness? Homelessness is simply defined as the absence of a place to live. What causes a person to become homeless in Canada? Homelessness is not a choice. Anyone can become homeless due to underlying causes. poverty, unemployment, and precarious employment, migration toward urban centers, shortage of affordable housing, withdrawal of the state from the field of health and social welfare income supports. Example, social security benefits, employment insurance, social housing, divorce, relationship or family breakdown, family violence, lack of social or family support, addiction, drugs or alcohol, compulsive gambling, stigmatization of mental health problems or drug dependency, and lack of adequate services, institutionalization, and lack of support for those. Transitioning out of youth centers, detention, mental health, hospitals, etc. Discrimination based on origins, age, or sexuality. Low levels of schooling, social isolation, and low self-esteem. Physical or mental health problems. Are we solving the housing problem? We have known a solution for the last 10 years to end homelessness in Canada, a method known as the housing first approach. This means going beyond providing emergency shelters and providing stable, long-term housing for homeless people at low cost. In addition, we need to provide support for mental, addiction, and physical health, treating the whole person by making all the resources available together. This method is different from the traditional way of handling homelessness, which manage it rather than solving it. In Toronto, we build shelters to ease homelessness and rent motel rooms in emergency situations. This is extremely expensive, and it builds a homeless helping empire, but it doesn't solve the problem. The simplest way to solve homelessness is to give them a home. There are success stories out there. Utah embarked on a 10-year plan to reduce homelessness, and it has already been reduced by 72%. Alberta came out with a 10-year plan with a $3.3 billion budget, and it has shown great strides in reducing homelessness. Medicine Hat embarked on a program and saw a 40% reduction in shelter use. What could reduce the homeless situation in Canada? There are a lot of things that could be done, but we have to pay for them. We need political leadership that's going to have a conversation with Canadians and tell them homelessness is not humane.